Part 109. After my death, the villain blackened again. Author, Ben Gongwei Pang. Chapter 1094. Yanj didn't move, she's your girlfriend. She said that you were going to visit the class all morning, so it's so easy for you to meet once, don't delay because of me, you talk to her, I'm waiting for my brother to come out, let him take me there. What girlfriend, I am still single. Finding a girlfriend is not so easy. Jinjing said with an exaggerated face, and ran away with his hand. I'm also your brother, it's not a big deal to accompany you to eat grilled fish, it's not a big deal, go quickly. Yan Ji felt that the female number one would definitely make a small report over Qi Yuan, but to her surprise, Qi Yuan did not chase it out. Is this man trying to escape? Without Qi Yuan's full range of waiters, things like eating fish would have to be done by himself. She held the fish in her arms all the way, and Jinjing, who was opposite, realized that Yanj's attention would not be attracted by his topic at all, and she sat beside Yanj with her head tilted on her palm, and her eyes seemed foolish. Staring at Yanj, Yan, you look good at eating fish, just like my cat who eats fish. He has been shouting all the way since he learned that the song is called a small word. Yanj ignored his appellation, and just focused on eating his own fish. In front of her, a pile of fishbone piled up quickly. Where did Jinjing meet such a woman who can eat? Now, in this society, eating is to connect feelings. Those who really focus on eating are all stupid fools. Jinjing thinks that this face is much better than Qi Yuan's face, but since the fish came in, the woman's gaze has not fallen on him. Too depressed. He asked her softly, is the grilled fish delicious? Yanj ate while answering, average. The sweet and sour fish made by my brother is delicious. It's not tasty and eats so much. Jinjing was very patient with the girl who didn't catch her. When she finally said something to herself, he became more confident. Qi Yuan will still cook, I heard that he has always been ruthless towards women, and he treats you. The sister is very nice. I like sweet and sour fish. I'll take you to find a sweet and sour fish in a while. Words, okay. Eat. After eating so much, how can I still eat it? Tired? Tired of going out to eat, or else we'll go back to where I live first. I order food online and I'll be delivered to the hotel in a while. Yanj replied, okay. Jinjing laughed, and Xiao Yan sang extremely intimately, words, the sound of your speech is so nice. Listening to your voice, I don't even want to eat. Yan Ji answered without raising his head, my brother also said that my voice is good. Jinjing, it's different. You are Qi Yuan's sister. In his eyes, the sister's everything is good. He praises you only because of brothers and sisters. I praise you and he praise you differently. I am a man of the opposite, praises you because he is attracted to your beauty and praises you from the heart. The words do not answer. Jinjing, eating so much, is the stomach uncomfortable? Would you like me to rub your belly? Yan Ji glanced at him. Brother said that his stomach cannot be rubbed casually by the opposite sex. How can I say that all her brothers are going? There is no woman who can't take Jinjing. He laughs when he hears it, and he laughs so kindly, stupid, your brother is afraid that you will be taken advantage of, but I rub your stomach to help you eat, so you don't eat too much. Accumulate food. After my death, the villain blackened again. Author, Ben Gongwei Pang. Chapter 1095. Yan Ji tilted her head and seemed to be thinking. For a moment, she said, when I go back, I can let my brother rub it for me. After just getting along for less than half a day, Jinjing had realized that the girl in front of her was simple and terrible, but it was particularly bad. Your brother, how tired he has been for a day of filming. Dang Wei has a pain in his hands and a backache. Where is the extra energy to help you rub your belly? Yanj thought for a while, no, my brother has a lot of energy. You can slap all night and change various poses without being too heavy. While talking, the door of the box was pushed open at this time. Qi Yuan walked in a few steps and greeted Jin Jing slightly for the first time, Jin Xiao. From the moment he entered the door, his gaze was on Yanj. When Yanj saw him, his eyes lit up. Brother, are you here? I have 2 fishes for you. During the conversation, I wiped my hands and offered the treasure. Generally, I took the small backpack carried on my shoulder, pulled the zipper open, and put 2 grilled fish in the bag containing various candy pine nuts, fish quite complete. Jin Jing has been sitting next to Yanj. He doesn't know when this woman put 2 fishes in her bag. Really, God is unaware of ghosts. Of course, the main thing is that he doesn't lack the money for these 2 fishes, let alone 2. He would like to give Qi Yuan 10 grilled fish. He is very willing. Now the girl puts the fish in his pocket. Of course, Jin Jing is more concerned now. How did Qi Yuan find him? Between Qi Yuan's elder brother, Jin Jing stood up and looked at Qi Yuan with a look of surprise and enthusiasm. Brother Yuan, how did you find me? Did you come to speak? You call for a while, I send my word back. Qi Yuan pulled Yanj up and said, be good, don't eat too much, you will eat it. I will take you to wash your hands. Hearing Jin Jing's words, Qi Yuan, who took a few steps to walk the song, looked up at Jin Jing and said with a salty voice, small words are not very sensible, I hope I have not disturbed you. No, no, the words are very good, especially well behaved and sensible, and they are not the same as those scumbags outside. Jin Jing saw Qi Yuan's face was not good, and his brother who wanted to come would not like his sister to be hooked up, so he immediately followed up and said, Yuan, the words look a lot like you. Brothers and sisters. Qi Yuan interrupted him, Xiao Yan is my girlfriend. Jin Jing, the smiles were stiffened. Brother and sister's routine was too deep, he did not see it. Qi Yuan had already taken Yan Ji to wash her hands by the sink at the door of the box, and wiped her hands and mouth clean. Yan Ji stared at Qi Yuan with bright eyes. Brother, I've left you 2 fishes. It's delicious. You eat the fish first and let's go. Qi Yuan rubbed her head. My brother is not hungry, and the fish cannot be put directly in the bag. Yan Ji nodded, and whispered in Qi Yuan's ear, I'm afraid he won't feed the fish to his brother, so he secretly put it up. I know the fish needs to be put on the plate, and we can eat it when we go back. Her sweet scent fell in his ears, and his warm scent melted. The sullen feelings of this afternoon seemed to be swept away at this moment, and he kissed Yan Ji's cheek on the go. Small words are really smart. Jin Jing standing aside, he rubbed all afternoon, not even the little beauty's hand was pulled, and now, the little beauty is so easily caught by Qi Yuan, heart jammed. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After my death, the villain blackened again. Author, Ben Gong Weipang. Chapter 1096. Qi Yuan nodded toward Jin Xiao and nodded again. Thank you very much for Jin Xiao's treats. If you are full, you will be sleepy, so we will go back first. At the end, he bowed his head and said to Yanj, small words, say goodbye to Jin Xiao. Yan Song was embraced by Qi Yuan, and the small backpack on her back was also carried by Qi Yuan's arm. She heard that she tilted her head from Qi Yuan's arm and waved to Jin Xiao, goodbye Jin Xiao. Jin Jing looked at her well-behaved little appearance, and she felt itchy and uneasy when she looked at it. She almost thought about it, and went out behind the 2 of them, walking beside Yanj and saying, say goodbye to words, we are on the way. Yan Ji ignored him, took a few steps, and said to Qi Yuan, brother, my feet hurt. Qi Yuan squatted slightly. Yanj crawled onto his back, wrapped his neck around him, and kissed him on the cheek. Jin Jing who followed, I knew that the little girl didn't like to walk, he should have carried the little girl in the morning. How long has Yuan brother and Yan Yan dragged on? Jinjing simply walked beside Qi Yuan and said thickly. Yuan brother and Yan Yan have a lot of difference in age. There must be a generation gap. There must be nothing together. What can you say? At such an age, you should play more with your peers. Before Qi Yuan answered, Yanj said, I don't like my peers. I only like my brother. Jinjing bitterly said, you are still young and you don't know the sinister world. Many men like to brainwash those little girls with various excuses, and then the old cows eat tender grass, and alas, but brother Yuan is not such a person. Worry, it's just that the larger the age gap between people, the more they will go further in the future. Yanj put it on Qi Yuan's cheek, and asked in a stupid voice, brother, will you go further and further away from me in the future? Qi Yuan, no. Yanj laughed at the words, brother is so good. Qi Yuan didn't answer, squinted and looked at Jinjing. Jinjing confronted him with such a glorious look. He thought that his condition was no worse than Qi Yuan no matter where he was, and he could not attract the eyes of the little beauty. So he not only flinched, but asked Qi Yuan with a smile, you're getting old, you don't have much energy, you must be tired carrying your words, or should I come back for a while? Yanj hurriedly tightened Qi Yuan's neck, I only want my brother. Qi Yuan appeased her, be assured, only your brother can carry you. Jinjing. The woman that Jinjing fancy is not sleepless. His roundworms have been hooked up today, his eyes are full of words, and how can he beat back so easily? Therefore, he found that Qi Yuan drove in the car, he simply got into Qi Wan's downwind car on the ground that he could not drive after drinking. He even said that he hadn't opened a room yet, and just arrived at the hotel to open a room directly. Qi Yuan was very generous, and he ignored his unreasonable trouble all the way. Holding Yanj to the co-pilot position, fastened the seat belt for Yanj before entering the driving position. Yan Ji leaned on the back of the chair and asked Qi Yuan, is my brother busy today? Qi Yuan nodded, and his hand touched the corner of Yan Ji's watery eyes, are you happy in the afternoon? Yanj flattened his mouth, without my brother, grilled fish is not so delicious. Jinjing in the back seat, it's not good and I ate so much. It's not tasty and it needs to be carried in the backpack. It's so speechless. After my death, the villain blackened again. Author, Ben Gongwei Pang. Chapter 1097. Although the arrangement of a belly, the voice of the little beauty was so soft and waxing that people couldn't get a little bit resentful, Jinjing immediately interrupted, say, there are several grilled fishes nearby that are also delicious, I will bring them tomorrow you go eat. Yan Ji did not immediately respond, but Baba De looked at Qi Yuan. Jinjingpa pulled Yanj's chair back, leaned closer to Yanj and said, your brother Qi Yuan is too busy every day. You are his little girlfriend, you have to be sensible and you can't mess him up. Before the words were over, Qi Yuan made a sudden break, and Jinjing, who was not wearing a seat belt, was planted upside down on the seat. The front row of words and Qi Yuan, no one paid attention to Jinjing shouting pain in the back seat. Yan Ji looked at Qi Yuan with great distress, brother, do you feel the pain in your hands and waist? If I go back, I'll give you a massage. Qi Yuan, okay. After a pause, he also said, when your brother is busy these days, I will take you out to eat grilled fish. Don't go out with strangers again. Yan Ji nodded, then I wait for my brother, I like to go out with my brother, I don't like others. The corner of Qi Yuan's lips slightly tilted. Yan Ji glanced secretly at him, and he seemed to be in a good mood, and afterwards he felt that this man was really sick. Obviously don't like her own woman to go out with other men, but they still have such a plot in their minds. Is it possible that men who like themselves in their subconscious minds will not choose all other men, and they only have him in their eyes? This idea is very man. However, it is also naive. At night, Yanj realized that there were more childish things waiting for her. This man, when he picked her up in the afternoon, was so normal, it seemed that Jinjing did not take her out to eat at all. At night, however, the man became a completely overturned mobile vinegar jar. Staring at her gloomy, he tossed and asked, "Does Jinjing look good? Do you like him very much? Do you dislike my age? Oh, you like him because he is about your age, and go out with him. Where did he touch you? Did he pull your hand? Did he touch your face?" Yanj was tossed all night, tired. She waited until he shouted that sister before she was finally relieved. Turning his head, the man has fallen asleep. Yan Ji stared at the features in his eyes that frowned even when he was asleep. This man, all his negative emotions were vented in the dark. He knew that she was only relying on him. Obviously he had this kind of brain hole, but he still ate this flying vinegar, which was insecure. Ugh! Can her mission this time be completed with him in this mind? Yan Song was seriously skeptical. She touched his eyebrows with her fingers and shouted, "Brother, I only like you. Why don't you believe me? I'm really sad." In the dim light, the man close at hand, his eyelids moved, but did not open his eyes. Yan Song's head froze in his arms before closing his eyes. The next morning, Yanj woke up and smelled the fish. But it was Chi Yuen who stewed the fish soup early in the morning. Yanj rubbed his eyes and walked to the kitchen, and flew directly into Chi Yuen's arms. "Brother, it's so fragrant." Chi Yuen shaved Yan Ji's nose. "Tomcat." Yanj's nose moved. "It's not a serval, I'm my little brother. After my death, the villain blackened again." Author, Ben Gong Wei Pang. Chapter 1098. The doorbell rang at this time, and Yanj sang to the door, "Brother, are you going to the studio?" "No, I didn't have a show this morning." Chi Yuen walked to the door and opened the door, and saw Jinjing pushing a dining car outside, with a plate of grilled fish on the dining car. "Brother Yuen, I haven't got up yet. I'll send you breakfast with Yan Yan." "Where's the Yan Yan? I won't sleep late." He wanted to see the little beauty look like she was sleeping in her pajamas and holding a quilt. "Chi Yuen, small words, Xiao Jing gave you breakfast." "Yanj, do not eat do not eat other people's breakfast, I only eat fish soup stewed by my brother." Chi Yuen pulled up his lips and smiled at Jin Xiao. "Our family has no habit of eating grilled fish in the morning, nor do I." Jin Xiao keeps it for himself. When the words fell, I slammed the door. But the doorbell rang again the next moment. Chi Yuen opened the door and stared blankly at Jinjing outside. Jinjing has already entered the door. "Brother Yuen, I didn't expect you to make breakfast. I happened to have a wave. Yesterday, I kept saying that Brother Yuen's cooking is particularly delicious. Today, I finally had the honor to taste brother craftsmanship." Chi Yuen didn't answer, but Yan Ji had grabbed Chi Yuen's arm and said, crying, "Brother, the fish you make are mine." Chi Yuen rubbed Yanj's hair, "Then give him fish soup, the fish is yours." "Yanj, the fish soup is mine too, so give him boiled water." Chi Yuen, "Oh, well, now that he's come to sip on rice, he'll have something to eat." Yan Song, "It was all made by my brother." Chi Yuen, "Brother will continue to do it for you in the future. Can you just give him white rice? He said he would cook rice, just give him rice. Don't give him fish soup, brother." The conversation between the two people, Jinjing heard clearly, really felt panic about his chest pain. This little girl, who ate so much grilled fish yesterday, is just having breakfast today. What can it do? Give him only white rice. Heartache. After a while he would eat all the fish and make her cry. At breakfast, Yan Ji was sitting in Chi Yuen's arms as usual, and Chi Yuen gave her fish bones. She was unhappy because she was being eaten. As the cheeks chewed the meat, A pair of apricots stared at the pot of fish soup on the dining table. With a spoonful of Jinjing, Yan Ji gave him a knife eye sharply. In the end, the abomination expression with gritted teeth seemed to jump up and give Jinjing a meal. Jinjing just wanted to have breakfast, and by the way, Qi Yuan and Yan's light bulb. Add a little block for Qi Yuan. However, it was him who had a heartbreak in his breakfast. Where is breakfast? This is a mouthful of dog food. He thought he was patient and fun enough for women. However, sitting opposite to the big guy from Kiwan, he realized that his interests were nothing. He really envied Qi Yuan, who was holding the little beauty and feeding him. Such an opportunity, he had a wow yesterday, but unfortunately he missed it. Just for breakfast, he felt that the little beauty seemed to become an enemy with him. He didn't even say goodbye when he left, let alone give him a good face. Is there a corner in the world where he can't pry? There are no corners in this world that must not be pried, it must be that his skills need to be improved. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After my death, the villain blackened again. Author, Ben Gongwei Pang. Chapter 1099. Qi Yuan had no drama in the morning, and took Yanj to walk outside. In the afternoon, after Qi Yuan entered the theater, Yan Ji waited outside to watch cartoons as usual. Jinjing didn't know when he came, and he also brought Yan Ji's favorite fish, several kinds of which were placed on the small table in front of Yan Ji. I drank your fish soup in the morning. Don't get angry, I apologize to you, okay? Yanj didn't look up. My brother said that if I talk to you again, I won't make fish for you. Go further, don't approach me, my brother will misunderstand. Jinjing. He didn't leave, and he was very diligent in buying water for Yanj and peeling pine nuts for Yanj. Because of this, at night, Qi Yuan tossed the song all night again. Yan Ji has fully adapted to Qi Yuan's jealous behavior. So it's calm. She thinks that a guy like Jinjing has Qi Yuan's brain supplement to exist specifically for eating vinegar. After killing the youth in this drama, Qi Yuan took Yanj to find a place with beautiful scenery to play for a few days, and then began to arrange a wedding with Yanj in full swing. It was only a few days after the news of the love was released. Lord Yingdi was about to get married. Qi Yuan's fan circle couldn't accept that he fell into the marriage grave so quickly. However, even if they are sad, this is their favorite bean, so they can only give their blessings with grievances. The matter of marriage was clearly proposed by Qi Yuan, which was also arranged by Qi Yuan in one hand, but obviously, Qi Yuan was even more nervous than Yan Ji. This is manifested in the fact that, instead of continuing to drive at night, she kept holding her song purely and repeatedly asked her, "Do you want to marry me?" Knowing that men are not only insecure, they are also particularly unconfident in front of her, so every time they sing their songs, they answer, "I always want to marry my brother." But her answer did not soothe Qi Yuan at all. He would hold his words tightly in his arms, like an octopus, and wrapped his words tightly in his limbs all night. Yanj tried to enlighten him, "Brother, in my life I just want to marry and live with my brother." He rested his head in her neck and smelled the breath on her. "Is that true? I really want to marry my brother. I want to marry my brother the most," Yan Ji said with affirmative and firm voice. Xiao Yan only wants to marry his brother, and wants to live with him for a lifetime. Then you have to talk. His voice was dull, and he had always been strong, and he felt a little bit wrong when he said such things. Yan Ji's body stiffened slightly, then reached out, touched his head, and rubbed his short, stiff hair, but his voice was timid. "I'm afraid my brother will. I'm lost. Brother, will you lose me? Will you betray me? Will you live with other women? Will you disappear in front of Xiao Yan, and then no matter how you cry, your brother will not appear again?" The person resting on her neck, his lips biting on her ears, vowed generally, brother will never leave Xiao Yan, and my brother will stay with Xiao Yan for a lifetime. Yan Ji turned his head and kissed his Li. After my death, the villain blackened again. Author, Ben Gong Wei Pang. Chapter 1100. But Qi Yuan still hasn't done that kind of thing with Yanj, only holding Yanj tightly. I will guard Xiao Yan for a lifetime. The wedding was fantastic and one of the best men was Jinjing. Jinjing has never found a time to be alone with Yanj, and simply pry into the corner, in words, if Qi Yuan is not good for you, you come to me, my door is open for you at any time. Yan Zhuo was in Qi Yuan's arms, and the little bird relied on her smile, soft smile. My brother will be nice to me, except for his goodness. I won't want anyone who is good, as long as my brother is good to me. This wedding was really full of dog food. But the wedding night at night, Qi Yuan did not do that kind of thing with Yanj. He sat on the roof of the villa with the words, holding the words in his arms and watching the stars with her. Yanj, brother, what's so good about the stars? Qi Yuan did not respond. Yan Ji looked up at him, but saw the blankness of his face. Yanj froze his neck. Jiao Jiao called, brother. Qi Yuan bowed his head and looked at the petite man in his arms. As soon as he grabbed his hand, he caught Yan Ji's tail, which had been dangling and rubbing in his hand. Yan Ji's watery eyes squinted at him. Brother, what are you thinking? Qi Yuan bowed his face with Yan Ji's face. He did not answer. He didn't even know what he was thinking. Obviously, he has a happy life and a good harvest for his family career. However, his heart seems to have opened a small black mouth. I can't tell why it's uncomfortable, it's just faint, extremely uncomfortable, and dazed. Brother Yan Ji's voice was soft, and he continued to call him, don't leave me, I want to be with you. Qi Yuan's bewildered eyes gradually calmed down because of the words, and he kissed the tip of his nose. Well, my brother will always be with Xiao Yan. In the early autumn evening, it was actually a bit cold. But Qi Yuan didn't mean to go back to the house. Even if the words were cold, they could only shrink into Qi Yuan's arms. The words were faint, and the man's mood seemed to change. It was even felt that the mood of a man's swing was not good for her at all. She tried to influence him with her extreme love, but apparently, it seemed to have little effect. Especially after two people get married. This man seems to have a scumbag mentality that he no longer cherishes. He didn't talk like a wolf at night, and didn't stick to her like he used to. Yanj's image of a little woman didn't keep the man beside her, and the task obviously had a tendency to collapse. She simply discussed with Qi Yuan after returning from the crew again, brother, I always stay at home too boring, I want to find a job. Qi Yuan, who was picking a fishbone for Yanj, paused. He looked at Yanj apologetically, I was too busy this time and ignored you. After 2 days, my brother was busy. Yanj Shuarun's apricot eyes squinted at him and said, brother, I want to find a job. Qi Yuan asked her, what kind of job is Xiao Yan looking for? Yan Ji pondered his head and looked at Qi Yuan with a tangled expression at the end, brother, what kind of work do you think I am suitable for? Qi Yuan fed a piece of fish into Yanj's mouth, and said softly, will you write a story? Otherwise, as a screenwriter, you are in charge of writing the story, and your brother is in charge of acting. Words of song. She is a silly white sweet cat, and the story she compiled must be the story of a cat eating a mouse. After my death, the villain blackened again. Author, Ben Gong Wei Pang. Chapter 1101. But Qi Yuan said so, which shows that he subconsciously wants his cat girl to be a woman with books on his belly. Yan Ji brightened his eyes and said happily, brother, you know me so well. I like watching stories and writing stories. I can be a good screenwriter. By then, as long as my brother is the male lead, my brother, it will be Xiao Yan's royal actor. I don't know which words please Qi Yuan. The man suddenly lowered his head and bit her lip. Day prostitution, this is the first time after entering the plane, and Chi Yuan. Two people started directly at the table. But what made Yanj unexpected was that throughout the whole process, although Chi Yuan was the dominant position, he never went to see Yanj's face all the way. Just burying myself in hard work. He squeezed his lips tightly and didn't even speak. Only in his pair of full-hearted eyes can he see the almost insane emotion. The words are natural, and they don't speak to cooperate with him. Even if her body was struggling and sensitive and had to bear Huan, even if her voice leaked from her lips several times, she clenched her teeth and tried to keep herself silent. Later, Yan Ji vented his anger, and simply held Chi Yuan's short hair that he could just grab, opened his mouth, and put a row of teeth marks on his shoulder. This action seemed to stimulate Chi Yuan even more, making his attack more fierce. This gene beast-like man. After the incident, the two were silent, and each took a bath. After Yan Ji took a bath and went out of the house, she found that Chi Yuan had specially arranged a study for her, was calling someone to send her desk, and oh, I called the peacock to buy her computer books. This man's efficiency is fast. Yanj's hair was still wet, she didn't want to blow her hair, she was lying lazily on the balcony's rocking chair and basking in the sun. Although she felt that there was a shadow around her, it should be Chi Yuan walking to her, but she was too lazy to open her eyes. Yanj doesn't like this plane. She is like a man's accessory. What a man imagines her is what she is. Personal consciousness is almost zero in front of men. For a while, she tried to make subtle changes, but it was useless. Men want her to change, a thought can change her, men do not want her to change, no matter what she does, it will eventually become the situation that men imagine. So boring. Very speechless. Of course, these are small things. Yan Ji was so panicked, mainly because she didn't think the task was progressing up to now. If this man wants to be immortal, in this brain-hole world, it is possible to stay in his youth. Yan Song can't always spend with him. How can we make progress? She is like a big tree entering the desert. Even though there are countless rhizomes, no matter how she fumbles, she cannot find her way. Where is the way of life? Chi Yuan's fingers touched her face. Gently touching, it was like a feather stroking her. But it was even worse than the feathers. His fingers were warm, and the veins of his fingers were very obvious on her face. His touch was like sparks and lightning. Yanj obviously did not want to ignore him, but the body was soft and tender, but it was crispy, itchy, and soft again. She didn't have to look in the mirror, she could feel her cheeks in red. Chi Yuan leaned down, pecked on Yan Ji's lips, then sat on the couch next to her, wiping her hair slowly with a towel. Xiao Yan, are you unhappy? Run after you finish, Qin Beast is better. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After my death, the villain blackened again. Author, Ben Gong Wei Pang. Chapter 1102. The words of the undulating chest gritted their teeth, but did not answer. Chi Yuan put her head on her forehead. Good, I won't do this again, don't get angry, okay? His voice, with a bit of careful grievance and begging, you have bitten the flesh of my shoulder, but it hurts, but it doesn't hurt. If you are still upset, bite me again. Yan Ji asked him lowly, it hurts. Chi Yuan inserted her fingers into the hair of Yanj, and helped her to smooth her hair again, and said in her mouth, it hurts. Look, it's still bleeding. Yanj sat up quickly, hurry to the hospital to get a rabies vaccine? Don't get infected. Chi Yuan laughed, holding the back of Yanj's head in his hand, and brought the person into his arms. How come? It's just that you were bitten by two, no need to hit. Yanj is extremely serious, I want to fight, I'm a cat, I was bitten by cats and dogs and I need to be vaccinated against rabies. Brother, go and fight, okay, just in case what happens to you, I won't lie blah. At the end of the story, whine cry. Crying out of breath is extremely sad. Chi Yuan looked at such a song, and for a long time, said softly, okay. The two men were dressed in lizards, went to the hospital together, and were vaccinated against rabies. It's almost afternoon in getting home. Because Chi Yuan had too many bites on his shoulders, and his wounds were all very swollen, Yan Ji was guilty, so he was determined not to let Chi Yuan start cooking. I saw beef and noodles in the refrigerator. She simply stewed the lower strips of beef and cooked 2 poached eggs for Chi Yuan. She likes to eat fish by herself, and has no interest in other meals. It is okay to not eat hungry. This meal is a loving lunch prepared for Chi Yuan. She was a bit ashamed to say that she had been Chi Yuan's wife for so long, as if she hadn't cooked a meal. So when Yanj was cooking, she tried to sit on the sofa and watch TV and enjoy her previous treatment. After the beef was cooked, Yanj cooked the noodles and poached eggs into the beef soup, and served the soup pot as a table. Brother, come and eat. It smells so fragrant. It must be particularly delicious and made for you. Although Chi Yuan didn't smell the fragrance, he was still very happy. Until he sat at the table and saw the large piece of beef in the pot and the noodles that had been cooked around the beef, the smile on his face was about to twitch. However, an inexplicable emotion rose in my heart. This pot of beef seems to have never known each other. He even knew that it would not be delicious, but he was still eager to try it. Yanj handed the chopsticks to his hand. Brother, you taste it, it must be delicious. He picked out the large piece of beef on a plate with his chopsticks, bowed his head, and slowly bit it up. Can't bite. Only the fishy smell spread in the mouth. She must have done nothing to make this meat. No, it should be put, but I don't know what messy seasoning. After confirming that he couldn't bite, Chi Yuan calmly looked up and said in the bright eyes of Yan Ji, I'll try the noodles first. The noodles were too rotten, chopsticks couldn't pick them up, so they had to be spooned. He felt that this should be the most unpleasant noodle he had ever eaten. None of them. When this idea came out, I felt wrong. He has tasted even worse. After my death, the villain blackened again. Author, Ben Gong Wei Pang. Chapter 1103. And, I miss the taste. So even the noodles in this pot are extremely unpalatable. Chi Yuan ate the noodles bite by bite. Yan Ji is like an old hen watching a chicken chick eating. Seeing Chi Yuan likes her craft so much, she reveals a kind smile, and keeps adding noodles to Chi Yuan's bowl. I didn't expect my cooking skills to be so good. I still had some lamb slices in the refrigerator. I fried my lamb slices at night. Chi Yuan. He looked up slightly, looking at the smiling Song. His throat rolled, but he said nothing. At night, Chi Yuan used the excuse that he was too full in the afternoon and didn't want to eat anything. He made a pot of fish soup for Yanj himself. This night, the two did not do anything close. After the study was arranged, Yan Ji spent most of his time in the study. There are many books on the bookshelf of the study, some are suitable for screenwriters, and some are novels. In just one day, her study was full and everything was complete. Just when Yan Ji flipped through the books on the bookshelf, I always felt weird. Are these books specially bought by Chi Yuan? How does he know that she likes to read such books? Or does he want her to be a woman who reads such books? It wasn't long before Yan Ji's thoughts were put aside. She said that to be a screenwriter, she really put all her thoughts on it. Because of this, Chi Yuan is not adhered as often as before. Chi Yuan did not protest, but spent more time at home. When Yanj is busy in the study, he often stands behind her and looks at her busy. Every now and then, when the Song does not understand a lot of things, it will also help to explain or find information for the song. On such days, he felt strangely satisfied. When the first script of Yanj came out, Chi Yuan himself invested in his own starring role, but he has not been selected for the female number 1. Later, he simply put his wife into battle. The husband and wife acted together, and contracted the male and female pig feet in the play. But this model of couples is the most disgusting fan. The average husband and wife partner is basically nothing and will also attract abuse. This online drama has always called for a lot of criticism from the outside world when it was confirmed that the shooting of the male and female masters will start. Fans have left messages, begging Chi Yuan to cherish the feathers, don't toss like this, say a word of lack of money, everyone raises donations for him, he doesn't have to spend money in this way. However, after the broadcast of the internet drama, it received strange praises. This online drama is about a series of hilarious things that broke out after a cat demon came to repay the favor with his benefactor. Not only is the plot compact, but it always makes people laugh and cry. Especially afterwards, the cat demon digs his heart to the benefactor to save the benevolent. When he was dying, he did not forget to weave a lie to the benefactor, saying that he had found a companion, and he wanted to give birth to the cat cub. I hope he will not disturb her in the future. Good life. Her benefactor has never known that she is dead. Although she likes her, she still smiles and blesses her. Even if a person in the hospital suffers from pain, she never forgets to call her name, but she keeps her promise and does not look for her. Her happy life. The ending is a picture of the benefactor walking out of the hospital alone.